Welcome back to the Lunchable, brought to you by Cheeseboy Comics. This is Chandon Clinton.
Alexander Montgomery.
It's John again.
And it's Megan.
Jared. That's our special guest today, Jared.
Jared!
Hi, Jared.
Hi, Jared. He's been a long-time employee and member of the shop here with us. We brought him in. Alex.
What's up?
Guess what our special topic is tonight.
I'm gonna go with what I always think is zombies.
No, it's actually Hello Kitty.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, we're gonna do Hello Kitty.
Yes!
Our special topic today is gonna be zombies.
Woo!
Brian's. So we're gonna start off today. We're gonna start off today with what's your favorite zombie movie? Only the movie.
Megan.
Nothing else.
That's hard. I don't.
Alex, do you want to lead us off with your
We
favorite
should
zombie
probably
movie?
start.
Yes. Okay, favorite zombie movie by far is 28 Days Later.
Bad.
Love it.
Yeah.
Nay,
No.
it's not bad.
You
Really?
You can
You
go.
don't like it?
You go.
I can leave now?
You can
Okay.
leave.
Do you really not like that movie?
No, it's good. Like, my favorite zombie movie is 28 Weeks Later.
Always causing problems.
I like, the 28 Days Later was really good, but I think the 28 Weeks Later was, like, graphically better.
Well, yeah, because it was made like what?
It
3
looks
years after.
yeah, but it looks prettier.
more
I
than
like
3
it.
years.
I like it. John, what's your
Way
favorite
more
zombie
than 3
movie?
My favorite zombie movie is the classic Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Ooh.
It's a good
They
classic.
move all slow. It's
Yeah.
all like black and white. It's great.
It's a black and white
They
movie.
eat raw meat.
It's not black and white.
Is it not black and white?
Dawn of the
No,
Dead-
it's
Night of
not.
the Living Dead is black
Not
and
yet.
white.
Oh,
Dawn of the
that's-
Dead
look
is
at
not
you.
black
That's
and
the
white.
one I'm thinking
How
of.
about that favorite zombie
Ouch.
movie of yours?
Hey. The names are similar.
Get called out.
He was just watching it on a black and white TV.
Okay,
Yeah.
touche.
So he just
The
he
AV
just
cords were
thought
all
it
messed
was.
up.
you have the red and the other red instead of the correct red.
I was just watching Twilight.
How can you not differentiate between
Red and
Because
red.
the name's similar.
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
28 Days Later,
Over
28
the-
weeks later?
That's obviously a different point in the day, though.
It's day,
Day
and
and
night.
night.
Jared, what's your favorite zombie movie?
Well, I'm partial to 28 Days Later, but since it's already been said,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and say Tokyo Zombie.
I've not heard of
I
it.
have not
that's-
heard that one
So it's
either.
a Japanese zombie movie.
Oh god.
It's awesome. Pretty much it's like zombies are there, and then they have fighting zombies. It's like the Coliseum for zombies that are sports bettors.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh. So it's like
That's
one of those things where
awesome.
like humans have like tamed the zombies to fight in a coliseum for their entertainment
It's-
kind of deal.
Yeah, humans fighting zombies, zombies fighting humans.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
That
it's
movie
pretty
was
awesome.
weird.
So what's the conflict in it? It's just like, hey, look, them fight. Ain't it
Well,
cool?
the main
Yeah, that's
conflict
pretty
is
much it.
you have the two main characters. If I remember correctly, it's been a long time I've seen it. The two main characters are really good friends, and one of them's kind of dumb, and one of them's kind of dumber. So
What a
Yeah.
coincidence!
I
We
know.
have John and Alex
Yeah.
right here.
so
Meat collision.
the main part of the main climax of the story, once again, if I remember correctly, is in the Coliseum. One of the friends is actually a zombie, whereas the other one is human, and they have to fight.
Oh, okay.
I remember that they were like masters of judo.
Yes.
So it was more wrestling than fighting, and people were like, "Man, this is gay." Literally what they said in the movie.
Megan, what's your favorite zombie movie?
I have a three-way tie. Is that okay?
No.
Are
it's
they all
definitely
Absolutely.
movies.
They're all
They're- They better be
Well,
good.
Okay, the first one is the one that I was talking to you about earlier that no one seems to like is zombie strippers.
Wrong.
but
I don't know how I
I
feel
love
about
strippers.
zombie
I love
strippers.
zombies.
okay, but if I
Don't
was
like
actually
them
gonna pick like two, it would Zombieland and Dead Snow are my two favorites.
Both good.
Both good.
I haven't seen Dead Snow.
Dead Snow is really cool. It's just like Nazi zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
keep
it's in
trying to-
German.
keep trying to
and
get around it,
someone
but-
gets his
Same.
dick bit.
It's true. Somebody does get their shrinker bit.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes,
Great.
yeah.
It's actually a really good movie.
Mhm.
I like it a lot. I've watched it 4 or 5 times.
Zombie movies are the best. Hands down.
Just for that one scene of the guy getting bit in the dick.
Yeah.
Ah, perfect.
Censor that.
Wait.
I'm gonna say that Zombie Strippers is the worst.
No!
Not just a bad zombie movie, just worst movie I've ever seen. I've seen
Whoa,
some
whoa,
pretty
whoa.
bad. No,
What
Zombie
about-
Strippers. Is
Have you
really
seen
bad.
The Room?
Seen parts of it.
Have you seen Cabin in the
haven't
Woods?
Zombie Strippers.
Cabin in the Woods was awesome.
It was
That's
amazing.
so cool.
What?
How dare you?
Are you
I
kidding
love
me?
it's a
It's a
zombie
horror
movie.
comedy.
I'm gonna
What
leave
would
now.
you-
I don't want to be
what-
a part of this.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's a unicorn stab a guy to
That's
death.
amazing.
Where would you see that?
This is
ever?
a horror comedy. That's what it was there for. It's just like Slither. Slither was a horror
That-
comedy. People did
I love
not
Slither.
see
Slither
it.
was not a comedy.
Are you watching the same movie?
Colby
I hope
said the
so.
same thing. We were
Yeah, me
having
and Kobe are on this.
No. Colby said that it was a horror comedy.
Oh, are you on my side?
No, I'm
No,
on Jared's
no
side.
one's
I'm
on your
just-
side.
I don't want to be on anyone's
No
side.
one's
right
ever
now.
on your side, Shandon.
Damn it.
No, Colby thought it was we were doing a movie night and we were looking for horror, but then some people wanted comedy. So Colby's like, hey, let's watch Slither. And everyone's like, no, it's a horror movie. And he's like, no, seriously, it's funny.
Okay, so wait.
It's a horror comedy.
I have a zombie question.
Okay.
The Crazies, right? Isn't
Yes.
that's a movie
Yeah.
name?
Oh,
Are
yeah.
those guys zombies? That movie
No.
was really good.
That was like rabies.
No, yeah, it was...
Something in the water. It was.
No, it was the plants, wasn't it?
no, because there's the plane
crazy,
crash that.
With the plane crash in the water.
Yeah.
It was some chemical.
What am I
Um,
thinking of?
I,
There's where the
Are you the happening? Is
Oh,
that
that-
Mother Nature fights back?
that's
Yeah,
what I'm thinking
That's
of.
terrible.
Never mind. My apologies.
Oh
I
God.
got my bad horror movies mixed up.
But no, are those count? Like, do we count those as zombies?
No, because they were still like coherent.
yeah.
It was more
It's kind
like,
of like,
the
the
people,
cross
the cross.
They
yeah.
weren't the living dead. They were still alive.
They were just super crazy. Literally,
super
the movie's name is Crazies.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So,
real
so
talk.
what we
That's
got
true.
here, I brought in my own personal issues. I've got Dead Space Salvage here, and I've got 28 Days Later comic, and honestly, like me and Alex were having this conversation earlier. Do we count Dead Space necromorphs as being zombies also? Because they go from like you get infected by them.
Okay. Well, the thing with necromorphs is when you play the game, you never get infected. You actually get ripped limb from limb.
Yeah.
So
Right.
by that, I'm gonna say they're not zombies. I'm gonna
They're
say
more of like a parasite.
But you
Yes.
can say the same thing about the 28 Days Later. The zombies in that just want to kill people. If they just get infected, they're like, "Oh, you're infected now. Okay, we're gonna leave you alone."
So-
but
so-
they beat people to death.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's what constitutes as being a zombie? Like what are the ground rules to being a zombie? Because I have Max Brooks' survival guide here, and he has a chapter about like the different forms of zombies. So traditionally, there's the voodoo ones that were like the original startage of like zombies.
People just being raised from being dead.
Well, yeah, it was like a voodoo like trance kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where you were like the zombies weren't like nom brains. They were meant to be like servants. You put them into servitude.
Yeah.
And then American culture kicked in and brains and violent gore hacking.
Let's just make them eat people.
Yeah. So what I got here is Dead Space Salvage, and there are 6 other issues of Dead Space, and by God, this is gory and
Oh, yeah.
amazing art.
Yeah.
Amazing art. This
It's,
like
Sounds like my kind of
isn't it?
comic.
like this is by far probably one of my favorite like zombie-esque kind of graphic novels. Specifically Salvage. Like I have all the other issues of Dead Space, but this is actually a really interesting one where you get to see more interactions of the humans in the Dead Space universe and what happens when like a large group interacts with necromorphs. Whereas traditionally in the game it's like you or like a second person, or you see somebody from afar, or how Dead Space 2 was where you saw everyone like running for their lives in panic and getting hurted.
And there's
The
not
zombies.
very much interaction with people. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, go do this.
This is a very
I
unique
died.
art style.
It's like me and
It's
Alex
like
were discussing.
ghosty.
Yeah.
It's ghosty,
Yeah.
but it's still it's Dead Space-esque.
Yeah.
Like
It's
I looked at it
gritty.
and I was like, this
Gritty.
is Dead Space.
Yeah.
Like the art from the game is extremely different from the art in this graphic novel, but this graphic novel is beautiful and like gets Dead Space like as a whole.
I can just feel how like dark and intimidating it is
Yeah.
just from looking at the art style.
You know how I would describe this art? As if someone drew the original picture, took their thumb, and slightly smudged
Like it's a
it.
smidge, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I see really quick?
Yeah.
This art reminds me of another comic book called Transfusion. It's not zombies. It's vampires versus like
Vampires
robots.
versus robots
It
versus
sounds
humans.
it sounds really stupid saying it out loud, but reading the comic, the artwork is very similar, and
Right.
it's really really good. I like it a lot too.
Buyer beware. Transfusion. It's awesome. The first issue's awesome. 2 and 3. Just heads up.
So the zombie survival guide in 28 Days Later. There's a reason I picked out this specific issue. A lot of the other ones are really like action intense and whatnot. This one is you see this group of survivors attempting to survive.
Now, which one is this one?
This is
Survivor, stop
London Calling.
The
Yeah.
28 Days Later London Calling.
28 Days Later, London Calling. What interests me about like zombie stuff is everybody has a zombie plan, right? I assume everyone has a survival
Bass
plan.
Pro Shop.
Done.
You have everything you need.
Hey,
So-
Thank me later.
too
Meet
many
you there.
windows.
Too many windows.
Ah,
That,
you're
we
right.
can't
But-
survive here because there's too many windows and Kobe
Well, no,
won't listen.
You gotta think about this.
Listen.
Too many windows, but they have the four-wheelers right next to the windows. So if shit hits the fan, you drop down, hop on the four-wheelers, and you're gone.
Alex, you know why me and you are safe?
Why?
We got those hamsters.
Oh yeah.
We got no, actually they're gerbils. We got a gaggle of gerbils you want to be cotton cage match with.
Gerbils the size of guinea pigs.
Do you actually have these, or is
No.
this just an idea?
Somebody does not want what is it? Top decking? Is that
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
decking. It's a magic web series on YouTube.
Which is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Such
But
a
okay,
good
so
series.
the thing that I really like about like the zombie like archetype thing is like the survival of the human race.
Mhm.
So the zombie survival guide, this thing is amazing. This is pretty much like the Bible to me. It has like realistic, real world scenarios and interactions. Like it tells you like where you can get certain ammunition types, what stores have like the best discounts on getting certain like survival gear. It gives you ideas of where to go if you want to be on the run kind of thing, like what you need to pack, how you need to live, how many people you can have in your group, or if you want to like stay home and fortify your home or your comic book shop, like what you need to do to survive. And it gives you like real world scenarios. So like what happens if like a random group of marauders comes, or you get the lone zombie? Do you attempt to kill him, or do you hide with the rest of your group and wait for the zombie to like pass? The best part that I like about this, my dad is extremely crazy. He was one of those Republican guys who was like, world's gonna end, I gotta get set for this. So in the book it talks about having a go kit. So you have a backpack full of like a week's worth of survival stuff, and you just keep it at your door. My dad now does that. There are 4 backpacks sitting by our door ready to go.
So he was on that Discovery Channel show, like the Doomsday Kits or whatever the hell it's
He's
called.
best friends with Glenn Beck. Let's just end it there.
There you go.
So that Max Brooks is also the writer of World War Z.
Amazing
book. Fantastic.
Not read it.
You've not read
It's
it?
really
God,
good.
it's really good.
Because I don't read.
Well, that's fair
Yes.
enough. But the way he does it, it's really interesting. It's not like a zombie book.
It's
Yeah.
just
An
a
interview of the survivors.
It's a collection of interviews of people surviving through the zombie apocalypse and like what they did in their scenarios.
And the movie portrayed one of the interviews, and that's like I went into the World War Z movie going, this is not going to be like the book.
I had no idea how it was going to turn out. I am actually kind of glad with the way they did it.
Oh no,
They
I
chose
think
a
it did really
real-
well.
I'm glad that I went into
Part
that
of the
movie having expectations of it being terrible, so then I actually enjoyed it.
It was actually really good. I think Brad Pitt did an excellent job portraying the character he was supposed to be, and in the audiobook he plays that same character. If you get the audiobook.
And you know why I'm disappointed with the movie. We've gone over this on the podcast.
There was a scene that me and John were really hoping that they would nail, and it did not get nailed. But there was another scene that happened like word for word. And if you've seen the movie, it's when they get off the airplane and there's nothing but darkness.
Mhm.
When they go off the gang ramp and it's just raining and there's darkness and it's nothing. And that was like word for word how the book describes it. It was like pitch black nothingness where you could only hear the pitter patter of the rain. And it set like this like ambience of just like what's gonna be 2 feet ahead of me.
It's very intimidating. I'm actually kind of getting goosebumps thinking.
Yeah,
about
it was
so
it was
good.
Probably
So
the
good.
best scene. Like I saw it twice.
No way.
With my
That's
dad
not
with
the
me.
best scene.
Dude,
The best
it was.
scene is the last one in the lab.
No.
Yes,
The best scene is when the guy
absolutely.
falls and shoots himself.
Best scene is any scene with Brad Pitt. Come on.
Topless if we
I
can.
agree with Jared.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that this is the Zombie Survival Guide totally worth the buy. It's really interesting, and like he has tidbits from World War Z in there, and like if you look through it, it has like you can write
There
notes
are
in here.
pictures.
There are pictures in here. There's like notes that you can take.
In
and-
case you get a little bored, there's a picture in there.
I was
Alright.
gonna say if you look through it, there's an ad for World War Z.
Well, no, and it's really cool because it like
Well,
has.
there is, but the book.
Yeah, there is. There's a timeline of zombie recorded events in here.
I've heard about that actually.
It's super interesting. When I first bought this and I was going through the index, I saw recorded attacks and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this and cry myself. The zombies are gonna come eat me inappropriately.
Okay, so on the subject of the zombie survival guide, and we were talking about like plans. What is your like plan?
Oh dear God, this is gonna
tentatively?
I
take
was just about to
years
ask
to
that.
explain.
Well, let's try and condense it down to like this is what you want to do, this is what you would want to accomplish. Like
I'm
what?
really fortunate in the fact that I grew up in a military and police enforcement house, and there's nothing but guns and reinforced concrete wall around my house. So I'm gonna stay home. Actually, no, I lied. I'm gonna go to Lowe's and/or Home Depot, grab wood.
Let's
and then-
build something together.
Let's build something together, and I'm gonna board up my house, and then I'm gonna go play Xbox
Until the electricity.
until the
goes out.
electricity goes out. Then I'm gonna cry a lot, like a lot,
Yeah.
a lot. Jared, do you have a zombie plan?
Well, it was just the Bass Pro Shop, but if the zombie apocalypse happened, the only thing I really want to do would be a berserker just going around with a baseball bat having some fun.
So you would, in the zombie survival guide, be on the attack.
I would be.
That
I'd
is
be on the
main
forefront.
section. You would.
I'd be on the forefront.
Megan, what's your zombie apocalypse plan?
Cry a lot and then kill myself.
Really simple.
That's
Yeah,
the
it
most
is.
realistic
No,
plan.
it
How are you
honestly,
gonna kill
no, okay.
yourself?
Probably really quickly
It matters.
by a gun to the head.
Good.
So that I don't like kill anyone else.
Why not sleeping pills?
Because then
Oh,
I'll wake
that's
up
no
as a
fun.
zombie.
That's no fun.
What if
No,
that's-
you
But
won't wake
you
up.
never
It'll be
know.
a different
No,
you.
you
Oh
never
no, I
know.
woke up dead.
I'm a zombie now.
What's the problem? You're like, hey, I'm hungry. Here's a shotgun. Let me eat it. You know,
Well,
what's
yeah,
the-
But what
I'd
we're
much rather
not,
do that.
what we're
Just
not
2 slices
talking
of bread,
about
a
is the
big
fact
barrel,
that
just-
she's gonna wake up after
bam.
taking sleeping pills. You need to go return those sleeping pills.
Oh.
Get your if you're gonna be waking up after that.
You can't
No,
just
I-
like wake up like, oh, what the fuck?
No,
I imagine she's gonna wake up as a zombie and be like, "Well, this was not worth my money or time."
I guess I'm just gonna go eat brains now.
I
Jeez.
have a definite fear that zombies are actually like still there, you know, so they're watching themselves go around and do all this stuff.
That'd
and,
be like a torture in your own head.
Didn't you guys
Exactly.
see a movie where it was a
Yes.
first-person perspective?
We watched
Oh,
VHS
VHS
2.
Oh.
I was about to watch it the other night. Actually.
Yeah, I didn't get to
Oh
watch
man,
it.
there's a part where it's like they watch a video of a guy with a bike helmet, and he gets attacked by zombies in the woods, and he becomes a zombie. So you get first-person view
It's
of what a zombie's doing.
Coolest thing
Oh
ever.
my god!
I'm gonna watch it.
First
Coolest
person
thing ever.
zombie.
I'm gonna watch it.
There's a movie that I can't think off the top of my head. It's like on the tip of my
It's
tongue.
Resident Evil. It's
No.
not that good.
No. No, it was about this group of kids and
My
you know,
Little Pony.
Yes.
Dragon Tales.
Come on.
and not kids, but like young adults. They were
Okay.
Yeah.
teenagers, and they all got zombified. They all got bit by a zombie, and you go through the movie watching them that they think that they're just like still regular people. They're just chilling out, and then suddenly one of them gets shot in the chest because they're walking around as zombies, and people are freaking out. He gets shot in the chest, and he's like, he looks down, he's bleeding, and he's not dead. He's like, I'm immortal, and so he thinks that they all think that they have superpowers, but they're walking like they think that they're just regular people, and they're just walking around, and so it's like first person of them being zombies, but they don't think that they're zombies.
That's like I'm surprised that hasn't happened already. Like the first person zombie thing.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I can remember in movies that had like a first person perspective was when Doom came out. The movie.
Oh
You gotta
god.
follow
Don't-
Reaper or Grim
That's
or whatever.
that's
his name
enough.
is.
Yeah.
That's enough.
I
This
actually
is
like Doom.
zombies, not Doom. Let's stop now.
We
No,
shall
that's-
move. No, we'll move on.
Alright, my plan, I kind of put some thought into it, but not really at all. So,
Okay, so you don't have any idea.
well,
So barely.
my plan is to wait at home for a little bit, see how everything's going in the neighborhood, go down to the like Walmart or something.
because that's a smart idea.
Yeah, I don't know, just some department store and get a machete.
What can you go to Ross to get your machete?
No, you can buy a machete at Walmart for $3.99.
Yes,
Yes, you can.
Yes,
$3.99.
There
There are
$3.99.
$4 machetes at
Wait, wait.
Walmart.
Amazing.
I,
Well, I
then
know
I,
we're
then I
going
have an
after this.
idea.
Yeah.
What's your idea?
Why don't you get the machete now so you don't have to go there
Because
when
I
the
don't
zombie
have
apocalypse?
money, I can get it for free.
Why would you? Why did you say you were gonna go buy a machete
Or
from
you-
Walmart?
No. Like zombie apocalypse happens, I go to Walmart and get a machete, and then I'm already driving. So then the plan from there is to drive to Mount Charleston and wait in the cold.
Well, my plan is to because I live on the very edge of the city, so I'm gonna drive out to Mount Charleston because zombies are gonna stay in like a populated area, like the middle of the city. So I'm gonna hit up like convenience stores that are out in Blue Diamond, raid that, and then just go into the mountains with camping gear and just stay there. When I
Yeah.
need to come out, Blue Diamond Town is literally half a mile away from camping sites. So I'm just gonna come down, raid houses, go back.
I think
done.
we're all dead when the podcast
That
ends.
or
yeah.
do what Jared's gonna do and just go around and fuck shit up.
Well, I hear all these plans, and it doesn't seem like you're gonna have any fun surviving.
The world's already ended.
You live.
No, but you gotta have some fun during this time.
I know, I'm gonna go mess people up.
Yeah.
Not zombies, people.
Oh.
It is
That
kill you or you kill me. That's
so,
what
so you guys are
Wait,
going to play Left
John,
4
you're
Dead
dead.
real person.
I don't want to kill you. Well, I'm going to kill you. All right.
Well, like for like real person Left 4 Dead. Yeah.
So, I have a quick question about. This is almost like a moral or morality question.
We're gonna fail.
Yeah.
This
Oh God. Right. I think about it too, and I can't even get the answer.
We read cross, so that's a...
Yeah. Read
I
Cross,
know.
watch
I read,
Digimon.
I read cross religiously.
What's your question, yeah?
So, patient 0, you have the chance to stop the zombie outbreak from happening because he's standing in front of you.
Nope. Absolutely not. Let him eat all the people I hated from high school.
Wait, is he already a zombie? Or is he just like
He's
something
patient
died?
0, yeah.
It's patient 0. Like this is
Oh.
the first zombie. If you
I
if
think
you
it's
have
a
the
dinner
ability
party with
to
me.
kill him and stop the zombie outbreak from happening, do you let the zombie outbreak happen and just turn away and pretend that you weren't ever there, or do you kill him and save the world?
I like to think that I would kill him, but I don't think I'd be able to.
Yeah.
But then if you think about it, like, later on, you're like, I would, if I let him live and then the zombie apocalypse happened, I would kill myself. Like, I talk about that a lot right now.
But you're gonna
like,
kill yourself already.
No, I know.
Regardless.
No, but
it's
you know
death.
what I mean? Like, the weight of that decision, if it would have to, like, rest on my shoulders and I let him live and then everyone dies and I'm like, well, that was a good time. Like,
I'd be the douchebag and tie like a jumping rope around him and lead him to a park and just leave. I'd be like, all right, I'll be back in 24 hours. When half the state is gone.
We just drop him off at the high school. We're like, hey, have fun. People are really dumb. Go for it.
Hey, dude, do you have any weed? Nom nom nom.
I guess we could hug first. That's cool.
well, you said that you've been thinking about it a lot, so what?
Oh,
what
I
was
didn't
your
been thinking
answer?
about it a lot. It was just
Oh.
it was something like during this interview, it kind of popped in my head because I really don't know if I would or I wouldn't. It's one of those,
I guess it's the spur of the moment.
Yeah.
What
it's-
would you do? Would
I
you-
think ultimately, I would end him
Uh-huh.
just because,
I have an interesting thought though. So, if you talk to a lot of people, they all think that like the government is fucked and there's a lot of bad things that are happening and we're overpopulated and all this stuff is happening. So if you take that into consideration, where it's like, okay, well, this zombie virus thing is happening and it's happening because of XYZ nature or scientists or whatever.
Oh, freezing over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you let it happen
Uptight.
to kind of like reset the slate, maybe, instead of just letting it get worse and worse and worse? It is as it is. Like that's just I'm trying to play a devil's advocate here.
Yeah, but I think the one problem with that right there is, even if you're thinking that you're resetting the slate, you're introducing a new type of predator into our environment,
Right.
and on top of that, I mean that could be extinction. You could be resetting it, but you're resetting it for the whole world.
I was just thinking of something like if Patient Zero was in front of me and I had the opportunity to kill him, I probably wouldn't. Because if I did, even though I successfully stopped the zombie apocalypse, I'd probably be arrested on the spot. Like, hey, you just killed that guy. It's just like, whoa, 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 whoa! You just chopped that guy with a machete. You just tried to give him a hug.
He got it from Walmart for $3.99.
The receipt is still in his
What's
pocket.
this, sir? Machete receipt?
I bought that.
Oh, this is
I bought
incredible
that.
value.
But like, yeah,
I couldn't resist.
you can either save the world and then live the rest of your life in jail, or you can have a lot of fun with zombies.
See, that's my thing. Everybody thinks it's gonna be like amazing to have the zombie apocalypse. That's gonna be the worst life ever.
Yeah.
What I think would actually happen, because so many people imagine that now, like you can watch a movie and people are like, oh no, what's going on? What are we gonna do with zombies?
Thank you for
Everyone is like, what are we gonna do if there's zombies? I'm gonna board up my house. We're gonna go to the mountains. I'm gonna go to the mountains just to be like 100 people there with stuff, and we're just gonna make a new community. Like, hey, what's up?
Alex,
Yo, dude!
my thing with that though is, Alex, you have night terrors. You're getting found on the first night.
I do have night terrors.
Unless
Zombies
we-
are gonna find me. I do not.
Unless
sleep
we
tight
just
at night.
duct tape your mouth. That's an easy
That'll work.
fix.
But then I'll just like
Scream
get
through
up
your
and
nose.
John, you know what this means, right? we have to kill Alex.
Oh, that's
It's
not
okay,
a
buddy,
problem.
we're not
We're gonna
gonna-
kill you.
It's fine.
No, it's not alright.
So just in case you turn into a zombie, Alex, I got this zombies for zombies.
So it's essentially zombies for dummies.
Yeah, it's the playoff that they
You're
have.
even more brainless.
This book is incredibly lame. I got it for Christmas.
I'm gonna turn to a random page.
I always find when I turn into a zombie, I'm just like, well, what next?
So if you ever had any questions, you could always buy Zombies for Zombies, and you can learn how, like, the system in you. How does that say how to make a baby as a zombie?
Read it. Read it.
No, it didn't. Okay.
Barriers.
Oh, man.
But it's funny that you bring that up, Megan. What you just talked about, because isn't there like this rule of thumb in life in general that we have like some kind of plague every some odd years?
What?
Like something that pretty much takes out like not a chunk, but like a percentage of the population.
You mean like the Black Plague
Yeah,
and,
and
smallpox?
yeah, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like
Aging.
and I like they
Aging.
Aging takes up.
Well,
the
there's
law.
if any of you have Netflix, there's the zombie apocalypse documentary that they have on Netflix. It's I think it's either Discovery Channel or Nash Geo, but there's a gentleman on there who talks about with us having the plague that is like one of the more, I guess, not realistic outcomes, but it's definitely something that scientists have talked about, which blew my mind because I was like, why would they talk about it?
Can you imagine, like, you have patient 0 and then the plague hits?
Oh
God.
We call that wildfire.
That'd be awful. Dear God.
We're just gonna launch into space now.
Yeah.
So can
Going
I
to Mars.
can I talk about a little bit of a more realistic
Oh,
zombie?
Don't
yeah,
talk about that.
it's a realistic zombie game. So
Okay.
it's The Last of Us.
Okay.
It's a really good game. It's out for PlayStation. Their concept for how the zombie apocalypse start is awesome. There's this fungus in real life that takes over like ants.
Right.
And
Yep.
it grows like this little spindly thing out of its head,
Mhm.
and it moves the ant to a place where it can be inside of the hive so that the spores from the fungus can get into the other ants and infect more ants and infect more ants. But it moves the dead ant.
Yeah, it's just a parasitic
Yeah,
plant.
it's yeah. So what Left 4 Dead, or not Left 4 Dead, I'm sorry.
The Last of
What
Us.
The Last of Us did was take that fungus and say that it mutated into a human, so it could be infected, so humans can be affected by it.
Right.
And so the whole point of the game was there are humans that are infected by this fungus, and it like pops into their head and pulls out of it, and they use like echolocation to like find
That
people.
was interesting.
Yeah, that
how
was
they use that
the
echolocation.
clickers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they're
heard that was terrifying. I'm actually
it
going to.
is terrifying.
I'm going to play The Last of Us later on tonight with a friend.
okay.
So I haven't played Last of Us before, so
It
I'm
is-
excited.
It
I've
is
heard so much,
very, very good.
so much about it.
That game would have
Nothing
been
but
way
good
better
things.
if they didn't give you that whole like use your sense, your
Yes.
hearing thing. If they hadn't
Oh.
put that in, that game would be like a 10 out of 10 for me.
I wish they would make like a very realistic zombie game, kind of like The Last of Us, but with like you don't have any special powers. You really have to scavenge for guns.
Uh-huh.
Like you,
A game just came out for beta. It's called Nether.
Mhm.
It's not zombies, but it is still apocalypse. But like, there's aliens,
Mhm.
but they're not like pew pew aliens. They're like they look like zombies, but they're aliens. Like the only thing that they can do is teleport. That's it.
Oh, that's
That's
scary.
their special power.
I don't. That's it.
Teleport
Yeah.
but you play first person. You are alone. That is it. You can make and it's like your single player is a multiplayer experience. So you play on this big server with everyone else, and it's a huge open world map. And basically, all you do is survive. That's the whole concept of the game. There's like quests, but it's more like bring stuff back to the safe house. Okay, go on your way. There's no end game to it. It's in beta right now, but it looks really good because you scavenge for food and you avoid the aliens at all costs because they're super overpowered.
New quest. Don't
That's
die.
awesome.
No, it's really cool. It's
That was
called
an
Nether,
ongoing
and,
quest.
Like,
Achievement unlocked.
That sounds really good. Like I like.
Quest
with
I like
Award is
that.
speaking
Nirvana.
of a game,
Uh,
this I'm gonna totally call these guys classic. The Flood from Halo.
I
I
don't know
think-
enough about the flood.
You don't?
I
You not play
don't.
enough Halo?
I don't play the Halo for the
Okay.
story. I just like to shoot things.
So I thought it was interesting because I think it came out in 2000 is when Halo. Whenever I knew it was original Xbox launch. Yeah. So I thought it was really interesting because like I remember playing it as like a little kid, And when I saw the flood, I was terrified. Like, I could not play that level without it being 2-player with my sister playing with me, because the flood terrified me. Because all you heard was, "Rah!" And then all of a sudden, like, the Marines who were with you are now dead, trying to consume your flesh.
And, like, the little guys were heads, and that's it.
Yeah, they were like these little parasite things, and I thought that was like really, really cool because, like, for all of the game in like Halo 1, it's just about like dealing with the Covenant, and then all of a sudden, hey, there's this plague thing they're gonna hit. Oh, we're just fucked.
Hey, we're dead.
Just fucked.
Hey, what's that?
Hey, surprise,
Uh-oh.
we died.
So I think I know they're parasites, but like they're kind of like, for me, iconic zombies. Because I remember them as a little kid, and then like growing up with the Halo games, like the Flood was like a big like zombie archetype for me.
Yeah.
So
For some reason, I always thought the Flood seemed hairy. I don't know why.
they've got the little whisker.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to touch you, but that's the only reason.
John, I could say the same thing.
That-
You would
Well-
want to touch the Flood if they weren't hairy? Is that what you just said?
I'll probably grab one, just be like, look at you, and then crush it.
Squeeze it.
Oh, that's so cute. Goodbye.
But
It's
then they
like
have
a throw pillow.
but then they have that nasty ass like pubic hair, weird whiskers, and it's like, I don't want to touch that.
Okay, we have to talk about it. There's no way of getting around it. The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
We have to if we're discussing zombies.
I think it's overrated.
Megan's waving her.
Unpopular
I agree.
opinion.
Who said that?
Megan, me and you seem to be the only ones who enjoy this comic book series.
That's okay. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And,
Well,
Except
these
if it's
people
wrong.
aren't people. They don't count.
oh, got you.
They're just
zombies.
figments of our imagination.
No, they're zombies.
I've
They're
read.
zombies.
That's why I don't like
We
the
should
Walking
probably
Dead.
not be here.
Because we just shoot them. Boom.
Yeah, boom, boom.
Boom,
Phew.
boom.
I got introduced to The Walking Dead in 6th grade. No,
Wow.
not seventh
You've
grade.
been
Same.
reading like the whole time?
Yep.
Oh, very
I've
cool.
kept up with all of them. And I remember the weirdest kid in class gave it to me, and he goes, "This book is so good." And I'm like, "Well, one, it's not. It's
This is
pictures.
a graphic novel.
This is a graphic novel,
Sir.
So I was like, I'm not really into like reading anything that wasn't Halo at the time, and that's all I was reading was the Halo stuff. And then he gave it to me, and I was like, "This is really good." And I forced my mom to take me to Barnes and Nobles, and I got issues like 1, 2, 3, and I think they were only up to 4 when I started.
Yeah.
So I grabbed 4 and continued reading from there.
I definitely started reading like on the 100th comic, so like not too long ago.
Right.
And I read them all in one night because I was like, "Oh, I found them all. Let's read them all." And
You
so,
can't do that.
Oh my God.
I'm in the same boat as Shannon. I started reading like 6th, 7th grade, and I read all the way up until where the show is now before I stopped. And it was like the
So
same
you're
thing.
on like number 12.
Well, the show has completely pew.
Yeah, the
Well,
show
I know
is-
it's gone in an entirely another direction, but like all the way up until where they started like hitting their tangents and everything. Like they still follow the same major storyline.
Yeah.
I'm all the way up and past. where they
No,
are.
I don't think the show follows the same major storyline. The
They-
only
they-
thing that they share is the name. That is it.
Well,
they
now,
took,
yeah.
They took names from the book and the name of the title, and that's all it has ever been. Even episode 1 of the show was like, what is happening?
¿Por qué?
¿Por qué?
Although they did have differences, like it pretty much stayed like, okay, oh, I knew this character was gonna die, this character was gonna die, that happened, okay, they went to the prison, that's all good.
They
and
kept
then,
really popular events in the
yeah,
comics.
then they split, and now I have no idea what's gonna go
Right.
on. I am so confused, and I wish that I knew what's coming up because I'm like scared for all of my characters' like lives right
Right.
now.
Like my mom is really obsessed with the show,
Mhm.
and she continuously asks me what's going to happen, and I'm like, it does not follow the graphic novel.
Yeah.
like at all.
I
So-
think the two are good in their own.
See, this again, I had to look at it like how I looked at the movie World War Z, but I can't because it annoys me so much that it's called The Walking Dead. Like, it should not be The Walking Dead. It should be something completely different because it's not The Walking Dead. Like, they kept like certain like story archetypes, and that's about it. Like,
Well, but they have all the characters, and the characters have their own personalities, and the personalities are the same. Most of the events that happen in the comic that happen in the show. Most of them, like how characters die and like what happens.
well,
For the most part, there are going to be differences, of course, because it's a TV and it's a TV show. They want
Right.
a lot of drama, and in the comic, like it's drama, but it's not TV drama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
So,
you've got to make the difference when you go from like comic book to TV because you can't just turn an entire comic book into
No,
TV
you
show
absolutely
because
cannot.
you
No, I
won't
agree.
have the same audience. Like people
I
who
got
haven't
it.
read the comic book can't look and be like, "Oh, I'm not getting into
No,
it."
I understand.
You got no
It's-
TV drama. And go
Well-
back to watching Runway Model.
but my whole entire shtick is
There's
like,
a good amount of zombies in that too.
Yeah.
well, when the guy who
brainless.
produced the show, he was like, okay, we're gonna try to stick onto the comic book as much as we can, and then he was like, okay, now we're not gonna do that, and then recently he said it again, no, he's gonna try and do it, and I'm like, dude, fucking choose, because like I really want to watch the show because it's zombies and I like zombies, but it's just not enough. Like I don't enjoy it whatsoever. And that's interesting that you said that they kept the same personalities, because for me, I totally disagree with that. Like, I don't see, like, the Rick that they have in the show is not the same Rick as they have in the comics.
I exclude Rick and his son from my...
I exclude main
Yeah.
characters.
That's whatever.
What I meant to say
No,
was...
no, that's
It's all
just-
about the side story arcs.
It's,
That's what
it's
matters.
all about the side characters.
It does have really important side characters
Yeah.
in The Walking Dead.
Michonne! She's my favorite.
So,
Oh, but the other day I watched all of like the webisodes of The Walking
they
Dead.
have what this is?
They have webisodes, and
Such a
so
funny word.
yeah. Well, one of the webisodes, I'm gonna feel really silly saying that now.
We're all
You're
gonna
welcome.
giggle.
Was the story of the most iconic zombie in The Walking Dead, the show.
Mhm.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Don't know legs.
I'm
Yeah.
not a
Like,
fan of Walking
Yes.
Dead.
The one with no legs, and so it.
The one that Rick meets when he gets out of the hospital.
Yeah,
Yes.
the first
The
Like
one-
the
one.
desecrated
Yes.
corpse that's
That
just on the
guy.
side.
He straight up steals her bike.
He does see her bike.
Yeah, and
My
it
bike,
shows.
no!
Sorry.
The webisode explains like how she became a zombie, like her story when the apocalypse started happening to how she got that way, and it was actually really interesting. It was super
That's
cool.
They can
Yes.
do that because there's no
Oh
There's
yeah.
no writing about it.
No, not at all.
Is she the most like
No, she
famous zombie?
She's the most
she's
iconic
the
Walking
first
Dead
zombie
zombie.
that you see. Well, not the first.
No,
zombie.
you see the kid first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's she was one of those moments where like there's a full page dedicated to Rick's reaction in like
Yeah.
every single panel, and it was really heart touching. Like he
Aw.
sees it, he sees the bike, and he's like, okay, I got a bike, and then all of a sudden the zombie's like,
yes.
bruh, and then Rick's like, oh my dear God, like puts his hand over his face, and he's like, I can't.
He
even
has a
continue to fathom this.
Minor meltdown.
Yeah.
Major meltdown.
Because I only saw the first episode of Walking Dead, and I'm like, that's enough for me.
Well, but
And I remember seeing that part, and I was just like making jokes the entire time. Like,
You're a terrible
I was watching with
person,
my
John.
friend Kyle, and when he came back for her, to that zombie,
Uh-huh.
to kill her, right?
Right.
Me and him were just like, hey, give me a kiss. Like, because she had like no lips, and it was just,
You're
Yeah,
a terrible
it's-
person.
I don't know.
you're gonna watch the webisode now and then just feel absolutely terrible.
Probably not.
You should.
John will probably laugh a lot more.
It was-
I probably will.
She-
Remember? Yeah.
It's so sad.
I'm a man. I try to watch the first episode 6 times, and every single time I've fallen asleep.
Yeah, it's
Every single time.
Yeah.
There have been some just like dreadful zombie movies and shows.
I like everything.
There's a lot of
so.
really, really bad zombie
I was
movies.
watching one.
Zombie strippers.
No!
I watched one
No.
on Netflix. Like it was recommended to Netflix. I'm very disappointed in you. You recommended me this awful movie, and it was about zombies who rave.
Oh
Like,
no.
like
Sounds
society,
amazing.
Society integrated with zombies, and all they do is party. That is it. Yeah.
Well, at least they found peace.
Like there's literally a scene where they do the Thriller dance.
Oh
Of
no.
course there is.
And I sat there and I was like, I think I'm gonna cry a lot or kill myself in the same.
You had to think about it, just like
I have sifted through a lot of bad zombie movies, but there's some gems in there. Like one of my favorite like bad zombie movie gems is American Zombie.
Oh dear God.
The zombie mockumentary
I
of
like
how they're like homeless people.
Yeah.
and they're
Oh,
living
yeah.
in society.
yeah.
It's
I saw
so
that.
You
awesome.
guys
It's
ever
really
see
good.
Fido?
Yes.
Fido's awesome.
I have not.
Oh,
Oh.
it's awesome.
Explain it to me.
Fido.
Zombies
is
as
good.
pets.
But they
What?
wear like
Yeah.
they were like shock
They wear
collars
shock
and they're
collars.
trained.
Yeah, and they're trained not to bite. Stuff like that. Yeah, zombies as pets.
And Fido's the only
Yes.
good one.
Yeah, and he's like the only functioning one that's like good because all of them are like, hey, go do that. They're like, they're like slaves. They're made to do yard work and like act as a butler. And some people like
And-
I don't know. There's the one guy that
and it's in
kept
a-
his
a-
wife.
Yes.
It's in a
Gross.
50s like era too, so
Yeah.
it's just like that much cooler.
So like
Yeah.
kids in school are going outside with the like
Mhm.
the UN to go do like zombie training in the
Uh-huh.
front yard, and then it's like 50s kind of style and cars and people are real friendly and neighborly, except there's zombies everywhere.
Yeah, it's really.
What are you doing, Jim? Oh, you know, just walking my zombie around.
Yes,
That happens.
that's actually
What
Really?
happens?
Yes. I don't want to be a part of this.
No, it's really good. I like it a lot.
That sounds awful.
It's a good movie.
It is. It's pretty good.
You'd be surprised.
Well, I'm going to talk about my favorite zombie archetype thing. So I've discussed this on the podcast multiple times. I absolutely love Warhammer. And Warhammer has its own zombie archetype. And what happens is it's called the Plague of Unbelief. So in Warhammer, there are pretty much like two major factions. You have the Imperium of Man, which is like the empire of mankind, and they're very prejudiced against like aliens, mutants, or anything like that. And on the opposite side, you have the forces of chaos, which are the human contingency that they're pretty much like separatists. They were like, hey, Emperor of Mankind, you're not cool anymore. We're gonna go over here now.
Make some cool new friends.
Yeah. So they made their pact with these four chaos gods, and one of them is called Nurgle. And Nurgle is the god of like destruction and plague.
Nurgle? He's the god
Listen,
that was made fun of.
He got picked on in school.
You know
a little
what?
bit.
I'm gonna destroy everything.
He got picked on in demon school a little bit.
Nurgle.
But he's one of the four major chaos gods, and he is the creator of the Plague of Unbelief. And pretty much what happens is like you have like these giant hive cities that literally have trillions of people as a population. And you have a chaos cult come in, and they're like, praise and worship Nurgle. And then Nurgle goes, okay, you guys are my minions now, as my sign of like love and affection to you, because he's called like Grandfather Nurgle by his
grandchildren.
By like
his
zealots who
followers.
worship him, like his
But,
followers.
yeah.
They call him Grandfather Nurgle because it like he's technically like the kindest chaos god. Like he bestows his gifts more than the other three.
Who is it? It's Nurgle. Who are the other three?
Tzeentch, god of like fate.
Uh-huh.
Khorne, god of blood and war. And then Slaanesh, he's the god of ecstasy.
Okay.
So you have Nurgle, who he's like pretty much the kindest of all of them. He bestows his gifts a lot more, but his gifts are death. And he makes zombies. So there's one of the first books that I ever read in Warhammer is called Cadian Blood, and it talks about Imperial Guard Regiment, which are just normal, like they're soldiers. So if you think of like American like soldier troops, fighting off a whole world of zombies. A world.
And why are they
Zombies.
doing that? Just like
Because
what?
their mission like as Imperial Guard, they cleanse the Emperor's realm, like all of his worlds throughout the universe. And when a world falls to chaos, immediately like troops are sent to regain the planet. So this planet was a faith world, and the Plague of Unbelief happened. Zombies rose up everywhere, like almost immediately, because there were so many cultists, and like the hierarchy of preachers were converted already, so they were like spreading the belief of Nurgle around and made everyone zombies. So I have here with me, it's like one of those like I guess I don't know.
Choose your own adventure.
It's like choose your own adventure, but it's Warhammer and it's called Hive of the Dead, and you play as an Imperial Guard trooper who wakes up in a cell with amnesia. Zombies everywhere.
Wait, let's just to make sure. This is a choose your own adventure sort of like
Yes.
book. Yeah, so you read a paragraph, you choose what you want to do,
And you go to like said page
Yes.
to see what what
Those
occurred.
are so cool.
You
I love
die.
those.
So
Dead. Everything goes to dead.
it's actually there's actually some really like creepy stuff. Like this is written by some of probably like the better authors from the Black Library who produced the Warhammer series. And when I first got this and I started like actually like playing my character and stuff, there are some creepy choices that you have to make. Like one of the things like I got out of a hospital like wing of the Hive City, and it's just like a Hive City is just like a giant tower like looking thing, and you have like different floors of the hive or like different sections of the city. So I was in the medical district, and I got out of one wing of a hospital and went to another, and it described it as being like covered in blood. Like there were drag marks everywhere, and then I had two choices to make. I could go down the corridor to the door in the far end, or there was a door to my immediate right that had its window broken, and there was a blood smear that looked like somebody was grabbing onto it. So I chose to go in there. Luckily did not die. I found medical supplies in there, and when I walked back out, I got jumped by 3 zombies. And I had to roll three d6s to make my like reaction roll to see if my guy would react fast enough. I got my face bit off. They punched into my stomach and started tearing out my guts and eating it. And then some guy was gnawing on my big toe.
My big toe.
That's
I
what happened.
need
My
that.
guy got torn apart, and then I was like,
Boom.
super secret cheatsies. I lived, and I went to a different page, and I successfully killed all of the zombies.
Super.
But it's actually really cool. I'm glad that there's stuff like this choose your own adventure that has zombie stuff in it, and it's really intense because like you can do it by yourself, or you can have, I think the max is 2 people with this one. So like both of us can be in the same jail cell, wake up, both have amnesia.
So 2
not know
people
what's
can
happening.
read at the same.
Well, like you get a character sheet and I get a character
Oh, okay.
So we both share roles, and that's like both of our reactions. So if like you fire and you get like a good shot, I get to roll my like buffer. So say you roll a 6 and then I get to roll like a 4. Both of us shoot somebody, but the outcome is still the same. The guy is dead. So we go to the same page.
So like if John misses, you can hit.
I can hit, and then John gets to roll again to see if he hits and whatnot.
Okay.
That's pretty awesome. You actually get a roll though.
Yeah.
Like, that's
It's like the whole 9 yards. Like D6, you get to like choose your attributes, your traits, and whatnot. And it's a choose your own adventure game. It's just Warhammer based, and it's all zombies.
I kind of am very interested in this,
Yes.
especially because it's not all just choose your own. It's like, hey, you don't have a choice in this. Roll for
No,
it.
there are some situations like that. Like there's the very last scenario in this book.
Spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil it because if you guys want to play it, I definitely say that you should
I won't play it.
because it's really intense. Like the last choice is really difficult to make, and it's a huge cliffhanger and it's a twist, all at the same time.
Cliffhanger
What's a
twist?
It's a cliffhanger and a twist.
Jesus.
It's super awesome.
That's pretty cool.
That has been my zombie retellings. So
You know, it's funny when you said, Warhammer has its own archetype of zombies. I'm just like, Chen's gonna be talking about Warhammer, and no one's
I
gonna
tried
talk.
really hard because I was like, I have to talk about Warhammer. I have to explain the basis before I can get to that, and I think I did a pretty decent
No, yeah,
job.
you did a good job.
I always like listening to
Yeah,
listening to
it's
So,
not bad.
so I figured that
Enjoyable.
we should start wrapping this up. Jared, do you have one zombie survival tip for our listeners?
don't rely on guns.
Don't rely on
Yes.
guns. Okay,
Really good
Megan, what is your tip for them? Hurry, their life depends on this.
You should probably skip me.
Kill yourself.
John, survival tip.
Don't take any perishable foods.
Okay, non-perishable foods. Zombie tip, Alex.
God, personal hygiene. For fuck's sake.
Just because we're in an apocalypse does not mean that you get to skip putting deodorant on in the morning.
No, you need to like brush your teeth and keep yourself clean before you develop bacteria and lose all your teeth and gums. Do not get scurvy.
No scurvy.
No oranges for that.
Eat
No,
your citrus fruits.
you
Do it.
saying that reminded me. Grab penicillin if you can.
Just anything to disinfect
penicillin.
anything.
Can I change my tip and just always skip Megan?
Always skip Megan.
Oh,
Mine's
Well, you're gonna kill yourself regardless.
I'll grab you penicillin first.
He's
You're
like,
gonna be-
hey, it's on the counter.
You're gonna be
Boom.
crying.
Huh?
You're gonna be crying.
I
You
will be.
mistook the penicillin for the sleeping pills.
Oh.
Thanks, Megan.
Actually,
Ew.
I'm not going to give a tip. I want to talk to you about something really quick. Have you listened to The Devil Wears Prada? This is really awkward. You know, okay, Alex, you know what I'm talking about. They have the zombie EP.
Just,
and the
No,
balance
just-
hangs.
just end it.
Just
and
end.
no,
Just
no,
end.
just
Just
end it.
end it.
No, just let it go. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Jesus,
Okay.
okay.
Never mind.
Hold
that-
on, just let.
It's probably Taylor. I guarantee you it's Taylor.
Sorry, guys.
Probably.
John, you're just going to have to cut that out.
Late night phone calls. How about that?
Okay, so start
So-
again from
so-
asking him if he.
So have you heard The Devil Wears Prada, the zombie EP?
I have not.
Alex, you
I
have. It's super cool. It's all zombie atmosphere metal. Just that's it.
That's
like,
awesome.
It has like sound clips and it all is like zombie related stuff. So you hear like
Ah.
there's one very intense song and you like at the end of the song it's nothing but like you hear zombies moaning around and this guy starts breathing deeply and all you
Yeah,
hear is just him go and you hear him like cock a gun. So it's just and a zombie starts to moan really loudly and bang.
Like it's really close.
And then all these zombies start to moan. It's like you only hear 2, pretty much. And then you hear like 40,000. And he starts shooting again and again. And all you hear him is running away. And that's how the whole EP ends.
Yeah, it's just the heavy breathing, and then he cocks the gun. And it sounds like he's in a tunnel from where he's
Yeah.
at, and just fires, and it's like an echo within a small area, and then just like the painful moan of many zombies, and then just like him running off, and he's like running through water, and he's just like
It's really
fading out
intense.
of
I recommend
control.
if you're really into zombies that you should check out The Devil Wears Prada their zombie EP.
Another tip: don't shoot a gun in a tunnel in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, don't do that.
Trust John with a gun. That's it. All right,
Yes.
guys. This has been the Lunchable Podcast with Chandon Clinton.
Alexander Montgomery.
It's still John.
Megan,
Jared.
Goodbye, guys. Stay safe from zombies.
don't die.
Stay Gucci.